What's up, guys? I got my Tippmann A5. I have changed the valve spring in here using the lighter valve spring from this kit. And I have a pretty thick drive spring, so the main one that pushes the bolt forward. This is 1mm wire gauge thickness, like the gauge of the wire is 1 millimeters, and all these other ones are like 0.8. This was originally about just a little over 4.5 inches. It was about 4 9/16 inches. I've used it some and it shrank down to about 4 inches long. So right now this is about 100 millimeters long. Maybe it's like 98 millimeters in length. I have more springs in the house that I can cut to use this. I haven't used this heavy drive spring yet in the Tippmann A5 on a warm day, and I also haven't used it with a high pressure air tank. So the main goal of this video is to use my 1050 psi output HPA tank, chrono some shots, run some Grimburgs through it, run some alien plays through it, and I'm using the TCR barrel. It's about 6.89 bore size, 11-inch long barrel. So I'm going to use this 1050 output HPA tank, and I'm going to use this pretty much full CO2 tank. It probably has like 95%, 90% capacity right now, and it's warm. It's like 88 degrees Fahrenheit out here right now. Celsius is 31 degrees Celsius, so it is not cool out here. I'm standing in direct sunlight, and I'm wearing a black shirt, so I'm getting roasted out here. But HPA first, heavy balls. CO2 next, heavy balls, and heavy drive spring. Before the highest I've ever got this to hit, using this is the strongest spring in this kit, the short one. I was able to get this to go about 27 and a half joules with CO2, and I haven't tried it yet with this, or on a hot day with that. So I'll see what this does. I'm gonna do probably 5 rounds of Grimburgs and then 5 rounds of alien plays. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, this tank has about 2100 left in the tank, so 2100 psi left, and it's a 48 CI tank, so it's like a medium-sized air tank. So I'm gonna air it up and hopefully everything works. Alright guys, I aired it up, and I do have to pre-charge this because I aired it up and started farting. I'll be right back. Alright, so 1050 psi output HPA tank, remote line, Grimburg Joule V3s, and Tippmann A5 light and valve spring, pretty heavy drive spring, 11-inch TCR barrel, and a front bolt that I got from the Jersey guy. He gave me a bolt that I was considering buying, but I only wanted one piece off of it, and he gave it to me. So it has an O-ring on the back of the bolt to prevent air from escaping. So chronograph, 7.7 gram Joule V3s. See what it do. 258. That's pretty good. Misfire. That's probably because I didn't have one loaded up in there. So next round, 262. It's pretty good. I'm just going to verify I have a round in there. It's not farting or anything or failing to recock. It's working fine. 262. Still going cherry. 260. I don't know what the joules is. That's pretty good though for the HPA tank. 266. I'm gonna make sure I got rounds fed in there. 258. I'll do 1 or 2 more shots and switch out. 264. 260. So I'm gonna switch to the alien play stuff. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, same HPA tank. I got the alien plate balls in here, The A5 is a paintball marker. It's super old. It's from like the mid 2000s. It has this cyclone feeder system on the side, and it's basically ensuring that you load the next paintball. I'm obviously not using this for paintball, but yeah, it was cheap. I got it used. I have a few videos on this. I have playlists now, so if you want to see information on any of the markers I have, or any videos I've made with those markers, it's all in the playlists. So 7.2 gram alien play aluminum balls, small bore, HPA tank. See what it does. 268, 264, 266. So no gains. 266. I'll have to see what the joules value is. 264, but I've never had HPA outperform CO2 with this launcher. 264, even though I'm using a 1050 psi output, it's still not outperforming CO2. 264, well, I'll see, because I haven't tried the CO2 yet. 264, so yeah, it's just gonna stay around there. So I'm gonna load up the CO2 tank. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, CO2 tank, Grimburg Joule V3s are in here, and I'm gonna air it up. I checked to make sure that it's already cocked back, and it is. So I'll be right back. All right, my CO2 tank, or sorry, HPA tank went down about 200 psi off of those 10 shots. Typically, if you're just doing normal paintball stuff, specifically with this paintball marker, this A5, if I had this going normal paintball speeds, I'd probably get through 500 shots at least with that tank. So using that much air in 10 shots, I'm basically using like, I don't know, 10 times the amount I normally would, or something like that. So CO2 tank is on here, the red tank, that's CO2, it's hot. Out here, Grimburg Joule V3s, 7.7 grams. I think 268 was the highest the HPA got. So I'll see what this does. 276, so it's pretty close, but this is still doing better. 280, CO2's overpowering the HPA. 282. I think this is the highest I've ever got it to hit, so this might be like 28 joules maybe, or 29. 282. 7.7 gram Grimburg Joule V3. Didn't load because I don't have this thing. This cyclone feeder works best when the hopper's completely full. That's why it's sometimes not firing. 282. And there's a little button, like a switch I can push to manually load it, and that's what that noise is. 280. So I'm gonna get the alien plays, and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, alien play aluminum balls, 7.2 grams. This is that little button I was talking about right here. So when I push that, it makes the that little like feeder thing move around. I'm not sure if it's gonna come out on camera. If it's too bright or whatever, I'm sorry, but I'll show it later. So here we go. Alright guys, Grimburg Joule, oh sorry, not Grimburg's, alien play, 7.2 gram aluminum balls. The Grimburgs, the highest they went was 282 or 284, something like that. So same everything. CO2, TCR barrel, light and valve spring, heavy drive spring. 286. 284. So I think the Grimburgs, since they weigh a little bit more and they're doing the same speed, they are having higher joule output right now. 286. Like if these were like at 295 or just under 300, it'd be a tie. But since they're the same speed, 286. Since they're the same speed as the Grimburgs, Grimburgs are doing better slightly. It's probably like 1 joule or half a joule difference. 286. 282. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to make my Tippmann A5 hit any harder than this without doing some crazy modifications to the valve and stuff, which I feel like this is good enough the way it is. This thing cost me, I'll go over that right now. Let me degas and all that. All right, guys, it's much better in the house. So this thing cost me, I think I got it on eBay for like 110 plus tax. So 110 plus tax. I don't think I paid for shipping, but the total for this was like 128 or 130, I think. And then if you buy it brand new, it's like 220, possibly more. But yeah, they're not like, they're old, but they're not that cheap comparatively to like $100 spider paintball marker. So about 130, I'd say. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll look at it later, but it's around 130 bucks. The used one that I got. Luckily, everything worked fine on it. This TCR barrel, I got it from pbsports.com. It was 25 bucks. So I can easily put this on my Tippmann Tipex or on my Berna TCR. My Berna TCR already has this barrel. So I didn't need to buy this, but I wanted to have it on here without having to swap it back and forth. So this barrel and this thing was about 155. The stock barrel was only like 8 inches long, had a bunch of porting. It was not the greatest speed wise and stuff. The TCR barrel is much better. It doesn't have all the porting. It just has this like bird cage thing on the end, the fluted end. That's all it has. This piece right here, it's like a kind of like an offset rail, but it's not really offset. It just kind of, it gives you two rails for the top and left side. That was like $10 on eBay also. You don't have to buy that to make this work this way. I got this from a TR50 that I purchased in a bundled thing, so this was kind of free, but I think it was like 15 bucks or something. This laser pointer is also old. It's from, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I think about 4 years ago, actually. And that was like 20 bucks on eBay. You don't need these for this upgrade to make it hit this hard, but these are just what else I have on this. This is stock. The feeder system is stock. It comes on all the A5s. That's why the A5 has this little like logo thing right here, and here, because it's showing you that. So when you pull the trigger and there's gas, it loads the next ball. That's what this air siphon kind of thing is. So the air system in here, it makes this go and move. So if this thing was being used for paintball and I had this completely full, this whole thing would have paintballs in it, or I can fill it with nylon balls or aluminum balls or whatever I want. This holds about 200 rounds. It'll pretty much constantly feed all the time. As long as you keep pulling the trigger, it's going to keep cycling this little rotor thing. So getting back to the subject of how much this cost, $130, $25 for the barrel. This valve spring, this kit was 20 bucks. I'm probably not going to use these springs, but I can use them on my Tippmann Cronus, or if I want to make this work for paintball, because I live near a couple paintball fields. So I can make this work for paintball, or I could turn it up all crazy like how it is right now. Usually paintball speeds with 3-gram balls is like under 300 feet per second. These are obviously, I'm using this with like heavy stuff, 7.7 grams. So if I use the nylon balls, it'll probably hit around 400 or like 400 and something. And the nylon balls are heavier than paintballs, the ones I have anyways. So this kit was 20 bucks. I only used the valve from this kit. You can buy just the valve spring by itself for like $3 or something. But the added bonus with this was when I got my Tippmann Cronus, these springs also fit my Tippmann Cronus, the long ones, and the valve spring. There was 2 valve springs in here. One of them was shorter, and that's what the A5 uses, and one of them was longer, and that's what the Tippmann Cronus uses. So I had 2 lightened valve springs. I put one in the Tippmann Cronus 50 cal, and I put the other lightened valve spring in this guy. So I had that kind of added value of that. At the time, I never even thought of buying a Tippmann Cronus, but it was on sale at my local shop, and I bought this probably 8 months ago. It's May 2025 right now. I think I bought this in like July or August of 2024, and I got the Tippmann Cronus in like December of 2024. So at the time, I didn't even think I was gonna get any other like larger Tippmann paintball marker, but so 130, 25, $3 for that spring, and this other spring in the back. It was a 2-pack for $15 off of eBay. I did have to cut it myself. It's a 1 millimeter wire thickness, and I cut the length to like 120 millimeters, and it shrank about 20 millimeters. I don't know what its current length is. It's probably shrank a little bit more, but here it is right here. So this is the heavy spring. I can make 3 more of these springs because I bought two 1 foot long lengths of spring. So I can make 2 springs out of 1 length. So I can make a total of 4 springs out of that $15 purchase. And you just use some like wire cutter pliers, or if you have a Dremel with a cutting wheel, you can easily just cut it pretty easy. So that's what I did to this. That's all I've done to this. I really can't think of anything else to do. And then Jersey Guy, YouTube channel, Jersey Guy, he gave me a bolt for the front of here. So the only difference between the front bolt of the stock A5 and the one that the Jersey Guy gave me is that the bolt that is in here currently, there's a power tube in here that the bolt travels on, and the new bolt that I got from the Jersey Guy, it has an O-ring on the back of it, so less air kind of goes backwards into the marker. The stock bolt does not have an O-ring on the inside around the power tube. So I think I got like 1 joule of speed difference or power output difference, 1 joule from that bolt. So it's optional. The bolt that I was looking at buying, which is the one that Jersey Guy gave me, it only comes in a combo pack. It's a Warrior Tippmann 98 aluminum power tube with a Delrin bolt. It's available from ANS Gear. So it was like a power tube that was made out of aluminum plus that bolt for $20 or like $25 or something. And the only thing I wanted was that bolt. And luckily Jersey Guy saw my video, and we've talked in the past. He's a really cool guy. You should go check out his channel. But he gave me that bolt. So he saved me like $20 basically on that bolt. $25, something like that. So the total was probably about the same as the Tippmann Cronus, like 170, 180, with all the little random stuff I have on this, not including this top rail thing and these optic and the laser sight and the flashlight. But yeah, you can get this all day, every day for like $100, $120, and it's pretty solid. I haven't had any problems with it. You can get parts for this. You can repair it yourself. It's very simple on the inside compared to other stuff. But yeah, it's a paintball marker. So if you live in a weird area where they get mad at you for using stuff that's not original purpose is for home defense, you might not want to get this, but this is just my own creation that I started looking at stuff, and I was like, oh cool, I could probably do these things to this pretty easily, and it won't cost me like $400 or $600 to make something cool with this. So there is a couple of things I want to buy still. I've just been kind of waiting. I want to put a metal stock on the back, and I was looking at shrouds that go in the front, but those are just cosmetic. They don't do anything really. The stock will help me stabilize my shot, but yeah. So anyways, that's about it. HPA 1050 output did not outperform the CO2 tank, and if I tried this on like cooler weather, this might win. But yeah, I don't know. So far, CO2's been the king for most of my stuff. This is not restricted in any way. It's fully open here, and all the other inner workings, it's fully open. It's just this was designed for use with CO2. So I'm not going to make a tank do like 1300 output or 1400 output, because I'll probably just end up destroying this or blowing my hand off or something weird. So yeah, 1050 output HPA tank did not defeat the CO2. So you guys have a good one, and see you next time.